Today we're going to be changing a pitch stop mount in Daniel's 2015 WRX. This is Perrin's pitch stop. It comes with brackets that I don't know what they do yet. I have a faint idea of what they do. He just briefly gave me a heads up on what these are for, but I don't actually know until we start doing it. Are we following a video? We're going to follow a video, so you guys can follow us while we follow another video. I guess we have to, there's some hard line in there for the clutch that's in the way. I'll get footage of it so we can all take a look at it. But we're replacing it with this. I guess when you replace this little black bracket for the pitch stop, this needs to be put in there because that hard line can no longer be there.
Charlie.
What?
Clemens.
Ew. Ew. Alright, so changing pitch stop. I think we have to take this out. We're gonna take this crossbar off. And we're gonna take these two. We've got to take this coupler off. We're gonna take this coupler off. We're gonna take that bolt off. I think that's it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but this is like one of the hardest things you'll ever do. For some reason, it's unnecessarily difficult.
The next hardest is this. Is that
When you come all the way forward first, you go forward back.
For somehow get this tube off at least. Yeah, this tube is off. Watch that goes. How does that? Oh, I think we come out like that. Yeah, because the hose.
What about the hose?
Oh, sorry, the hose.
The hose. Got it? There she is. Pitch stop mount. Right there. So, real quick. So, we're replacing this bracket that Daniel has. This U shape right here. So it's gonna sit against the firewall down here. So you take those two silver bolts off down there.
Off of the clutch master cylinder.
Right there. And then that's going up underneath this onto those two studs. Put the nuts back on. But when it sits there, all this hard line, which starts here, runs down through a bracket. It looks like it literally just, there's like a little connection there, and then comes back up here to this banjo bolt.
That is the mat clutch slave cylinder.
We're literally just gonna replace everything in between those two things. Between this point and that point, we're just gonna remove and replace with that one.
And then this one will run under this and just kind of pops point A to B basically. It's not too complicated.
Yeah. It's gone. It's on the floor. Yeah, it's fine. So that's loose. That's the only thing that needs to come off, right? Yeah. That's nice. I thought there was gonna be something hidden into there. Okay, so we just change the line. Simple. Okay, so we're gonna take off this one, 10 mil. I put a bunch of towels under here just because I don't think it's gonna drip a whole lot. Oh, we need to block off the line, huh? It's just gonna keep running. We need to block that off. Clamp It's not great, but it's pretty much the best clamp I've got.
It's the most annoying spot to put it.
Yeah. Well,
I guess, yeah, putting it at the end
we'll have a lot more fluid come out. Oh, she's tight. Just have to shock its system a little bit. There we go. This one side. That and the washer. Does that need a copper washer behind it or anything? Which way does that go?
The pointy side in. I think. Is that the pointy part out?
Oh my god.
What do I need?
Aha! Easy. First try.
You will get one try with that.
It's
peeling.
Go ahead. It's fine. Opening. Closed. Do 10. That sound, is that changing?
The feeling?
Yeah.
Hold it down.
Okay, go again. Okay, 4 hours later. It's dark. I have figured out
Show them the tools.
that bleeding a clutch system is harder than rebuilding an R1. It is the worst thing ever. I don't ever want to do it again. At least on a 2015 Subaru. We're going to go over this in detail because no one else does. That's why we're having so many issues, right? So we added the brake line. Well, the braided line. We added this, and we had to bleed the system. So to bleed the system, you gotta do this little nipple, just like brakes. You put your little hose on there, run that to a container, and you have someone sit in the car, and they pump the clutch a couple times, and then you have them hold it in, and then you loosen this, and air and fluid is gonna come out in whatever order it needs to, and then tighten it up. And you're supposed to, and then they can come off the clutch, do a couple more pumps, you crack it open again. You do that over and over and over again until you see no bubbles, right? Well, what happens is bubbles are just gonna come out anyways, because sometimes this will just, the nipple being loose will just produce bubbles. So it's hard to tell if it's bubbles coming from this or if it's just bubbles being made because this is loose from you trying to crack it open. That's complication number one. Number two is when you try to do that, especially in this car, the pedal would go straight to the floor. Like it would fling itself at the floor. And like you'd start to bring it back and it would fling itself forward. And like that was pumping it. And we could see it was actually moving the clutch fork. But it wasn't building enough pressure. Like it would, if you pump this, it's supposed to get, slowly get stiffer. And you bleed it, and then it'll go to the ground, and then you pump it some more, and maybe at that time it'll be a little bit stiffer after you pump it 10 times, and then you break it loose, get some air out. It just didn't do that. It didn't do that for us at all. For hours. Like we did it so many times, so many different variations of one press at a time, crack it open, 15 presses, and then crack it open. Quickly, slowly, halfway, we got fucking this thing. So you hook that up to the line and basically suck the fluid up through the system from here instead of pushing it through. So you suck it through. That might have worked. You just can't tell. There's no way to tell if it's actually working or not because
the air leak.
Yeah, then it just there was so many bubbles and just made it, again, couldn't tell if it was this that had bubbles coming out or if it was this. The pack we got come with 2 copper washers. When we took this off, it says you're supposed to use the bolt, and it doesn't say use the washer, but it says you're using the stock bolt. But this only had 1 washer. It had 1 washer between the banjo bolt and the actual line itself. There was 1 washer, but they sent us 2, like there's one supposed to be between the cylinder and the bottom side of the cable. So we messed with that. We switched those out. I don't think that actually made a difference, but we tried. And it would not build pressure. Like at some point in doing that process, you do that 15 pumps, break it loose, tighten it, put 15 more pumps, blah, blah, blah. You do it 8 times or whatever. At least a couple of videos we saw, some people did it 5 times, sometimes people did it 8. But then they would never show the in-between and exactly what they did and how they did it and why it was broken or why it worked or whatever. We'll never actually show any of that. And so we did it 8 times like everyone else did. We did it more than that and it still just would not build pressure. It was almost as if we were thinking that this was just bad, and it might still be bad, or something's just weird with it. Like this wasn't building, it would only build up to a certain amount of pressure where it would slightly push the fork, but not all the way. And then it just worked. It just fixed itself.
We also tried taking the cylinder off.
Oh yeah, we also took the cylinder off
slates.
And then tried holding it above, making it the highest point.
Directions, get air pockets out.
It just didn't work. And then I think I was just sitting down and Daniel went to get in the car. Just why not?
Well, we pumped it 20 or 30 times and it was like 50%. It wouldn't pick itself
that's right.
back up. So then I went in the car. Right. I went in the car to check, just see if the pedal working. Maybe the actuator behind the pedal isn't. The pedal broke. Turns out the pedal connects to an arm that you can actually see the plunger that goes into the master cylinder through the firewall. Couldn't be simpler. It's like a little toilet plunger thing. And if you push the pedal in and it, perfect.
There's a couple new additions in the car. Like, I just put in that light there. And that disco ball. So the light reflects off the disco ball.
Huh.
In the process of checking the pedal, I kind of realized, oh, wait a minute. It's getting firmer. And then it suddenly started kicking itself back up. There's a little point about halfway down where the spring, because the way it works is like this. You push the pedal down, it actually compresses a spring underneath it, And if you go too low, that spring will uncompress and like push it into the firewall. The hydraulic pressure should easily push it, like pop it back.
Is that supposed to assist you?
I think it's like if you're at a stoplight, you get like less force. You need to hold less force all the way down, but it's not much lower. It's, again, the hydraulic pressure is more than enough to kick it back. For a while, it would get stuck at that like inflection point, and you'd have to pull it. And then while I was checking it, I guess I built up enough pressure that it was kicking itself back up, but you would still feel the initial, I guess, like bite point, maybe is a way to think about it. But then just kept pumping, and it just stopped. It was very slowly built up enough pressure that now it's perfectly smooth, like it should be. Then we confirmed it is getting in gear, because we thought maybe the clutch fork itself was just not engaging. But we confirmed it, at least the car will stop rolling in first.
Push the clutch in, and it will.
In and out. So as far as we can tell, it's working. We're just going to finish the install, and then put the intercooler back on, and then drive it. I guess I'll drive it around here for a few minutes, get through every gear, and if I make it around the neighborhood a few times, go home.
I think we should specifically point out that not a single video we watched and not a single thing on Reddit said that you just need to pump it over and over and over and over and over and over again until it builds up enough pressure. Everyone kind of said that, I made it seem like you just pump it 3 times and it doesn't build up pressure, then something's wrong or it needs to be bled. So I don't know if we were done bleeding it 2 hours ago and it was fine, we just hadn't pumped it enough. It just, are we impatient or just, but the thing is, there's no one online like matches that. No one else has said that.
The last set of pumping, I think it happened quick enough that I would have felt like, oh, it's very slowly building pressure. Because I was keeping an eye on that when I was pumping. I was like, is it building pressure? And sometimes it was very slowly, and then it would just kind of like stay the same for 20 pumps. This last time, it built pressure, but it was so slow that it just took a lot of experimenting and I accidentally noticed. So.
Ow. Okay, right here, there's like some firewall padding shit. It like runs probably to about where my finger is right here. They just want you to peel that back. So the bracket, because the bracket's gonna run right there. So you gotta peel it back like 4 inches because the bracket's gonna run along the firewall and they want it to sit flush against it rather than sitting on top of that padding. Ew.
It looks fine, you don't believe it. And we're putting the nuts back on the master cylinder on top of the black bracket.
Next step, right? This is where we're at. We're gonna do the left side bracing now. That clip right there, I think that needs to come out, so we're going to refer to Perrin's video. Is this Perrin's video?
Subi Speed.
This is Subi Speed's video. We're doing the same thing. Let's see what they did.
Once you're done bleeding the clutch,
Holy
go
shit!
to the passenger side here, and you're going to want to unclip this plastic bracket from the firewall that's holding these harnesses in place. It's a little bit of a pain. There's not a good spot to get leverage, but keep working at it and you'll be able to get that off. And then you can either remove that bracket.
How did you do it? I want to know how you did it.
I think that sums it up. You keep working at it.
There you go, that's how you do it. Get yourself a hammer and a big screwdriver. I promise you, no one is doing it any differently to that. They just don't want to show you that they had to just rip it out.
So the
Fucking
second,
head.
the second hole is I think hidden on the left.
There's another hole?
There's 2.
Oh yeah, there you go. Next set of hardware. I've never used these before. Apparently, you get this tool. I'm guessing you put this on the back side. And you put the washer on top. And then you take the bolt, and you go through, and you start threading it into this. So you're gonna have like this, and then you're gonna put this into one of those holes, tighten it down. Can you?
Yeah.
So like that, put it in the hole, tighten this down, and then once it like stops, you can take the bolt out. Here, like so. I don't know if you can see that, but there's our 2 new holes with threads now. Those suck. Maybe if they went against the firewall back, they'd be better, but. Okay, pitch stop's in. It's all a bitch.
Trial and error.
It is
Money
it's trying to line it up was the biggest pain in the ass ever. I suggest, like you gotta use your phone to stick it in the corner so you can see like how you're lined up. Do not tighten down a single bolt during this whole process until every bolt is in place.
on either of the brackets.
Both sides.
The brackets kind of have to just move a little to line up correctly.
So don't tighten anything down until you have every bolt in place.